think I need a drink. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have got a very special guest, my girlfriend, Cam.
Hi everybody.
And we have got a Q&A for you today. I've made myself a cheeky little cocktail, a bit of J2O and raspberry vodka.
Nothing wrong with a little, nothing wrong with a little liquid courage.
Exactly. Ever since me and Cam have got together and I've debuted you on my social media, I've had so many questions directed towards us. So this Q&A is going to be very about us. But I think that's what the people want, I mean, clearly. So let's start off with some basic questions and then we're gonna get onto the good stuff. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi everybody, I'm Cam.
A-star.
Should I say more?
I've got the giggles. Come on, sell yourself. How tall are you?
5'6".
What's your eye colour?
Green.
Gorgeous.
I'm a Leo.
Oh, she's a Leo. What do you like doing with your spare time?
Cooking, hiking, walking, and playing chess.
We've got so good at chess. Jumping in with, how long have you and your girlfriend been together? You take this one.
8 months. I asked her to be my girlfriend on November 24th.
Which was?
Thanksgiving in America.
Yeah. How did you ask me?
Well, I was trying to ask you in a way where you'd be surprised.
I knew that either I was gonna ask you or you were gonna ask me, in that time period, but I didn't know exactly when, and you really caught me off guard.
We were on FaceTime.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm decorating my tiny tree.
And I thought if I just said, oh, I have a question for you, or can I ask you something, she would know it was gonna come. And I wanted to kind of surprise her with it. So I told her I was gonna play her a song on my guitar, and don't worry.
She kenned me.
This isn't, no, I didn't ken her, but I said, let me play you a song on guitar. I started playing the song Slide by the Goo Goo Dolls. Great song. I just played the opening riff. And then I said, wait, can I ask you a question? And she was distracted by the musician, by the whole package. I'm not very good at guitar. Don't worry, you guys will never hear me sing. Don't worry.
That is such a shame.
I'll leave that to Miss Gabriella. She was distracted by the guitar. And then I said, will you be my girlfriend?
And I freaked out a little bit.
And you were surprised, right?
I was surprised. What is the first thing you noticed about me?
That you weren't following me on Instagram. I have a podcast and there's a Discord community in the podcast, and maybe this is giving it away, but that's kind of where we met.
Yeah.
We were all on voice chat randomly. I think because Midnight's was coming out or something.
Yeah.
Everybody was talking about who each other is and who we are on socials. And I had made an Instagram for the podcast. Gabbie was like, oh, I'm at Gabriella. She was probably in there trying to flex, trying to get attention.
I was not.
Blue check.
Shut up.
Her verified Instagram account.
Shut up.
And I was like, you don't follow me? I feel like that's, no, the first exchange we had, do you remember what that is?
No.
I said I had Ariana Grande on my sex playlist.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first words we said to each other.
No, it's not.
Yeah, well, the first words we said to each other, actually, you can insert a screenshot. It's you being sorry, I'm stupid. I can't figure out how to work Discord. And then you came back and said, never mind, sorry, I figured it out before I could even answer.
Yeah.
And I think I said welcome to Discord or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty lame.
But the first thing I noticed about you, I don't know, you were funny in Discord.
Thank you.
What was the first thing you thought of me?
I thought you sound like a golden retriever person. So the next question is actually a very, very interesting one. Would you and Cam ever work together?
Funny you should ask that.
Funny, funny, funny. That was a cringy.
Want to take that again?
Yeah. Tell him why.
Gabbie and I are starting a podcast together.
We are. No, we're not starting. We have started. Currently, while you're watching this video, our first episode is up.
Just search Stay at Home Girlfriends wherever you get your podcast.
I will leave a link below to where you can check it out. I personally listen to my podcast on Spotify, but we are everywhere. So the podcast is called Stay at Home Girlfriends because we both work from home, which I think is actually a genius name. We are going to be giving advice as your gay aunts / big sisters / people who've seen a little bit of the world.
Now, would you say we're qualified to give advice?
No.
Me neither. But I think it'll be entertaining.
I do think it'll be entertaining. It'll just be grab a drink, sit down.
Just hanging out with your gay aunties. And you know what I do want to say? I don't know that we're entirely qualified to give advice.
Literally not.
Can I tell you one thing that I think does sort of qualify us?
Yeah.
We're both happy.
Oh.
I think we're both just really content and happy right now.
That's the cutest thing she's ever said.
That's not true. We figured out enough of life to be really at peace with ourselves and our souls and happy.
We want to talk to you. We want to help you where we can. We want to give you some advice where we can, but also just have a really fun time.
Stay at Home Girlfriends, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you need advice, please send us a message and check the link that Gabbie leaves. That will tell you how to get in touch with the podcast.
Yeah. One of the reasons why I'm so excited to start start a podcast is because when I was going through health problems, that's when I really tuned into your other podcast, which is called What I Will Say. It's like a pop culture
conspiracy deep dive.
Your podcast made me feel less alone because I was at my parents' house, like really sick, had just had a blooming internal bleed, and I was tuning into your podcast and in your Discord and stuff, and it really did make me feel like I wasn't on my own, and it made me forget my issues for a little bit. And I would love to be that kind of safe space for you guys watching as well.
Yeah, I actually have a saying that I always say, what I will say, listener, is never alone, because I hope if someone's feeling lonely, they can just pop on the podcast and hear my dumb little voice talking about my dumb little theories. But now I would also say a stay-at-home girlfriend listener is never alone.
And with that being said, we also do have a TikTok and an Instagram. If you are on those social media, I will link those below as well. We're going to be making some fun behind the scenes videos or just videos together like over on our TikTok, and we can't wait to see you guys there. Please let us know what you think of the podcast. We would love your feedback. Let's carry on with the questions. Does Cam have any pets?
I don't have any pets that like live at my house, but I grew up with cats and dogs, and I love animals. And I guess, is Nellie my pet now?
Yeah,
I'm Nellie.
You're his little stepmom. Oh, someone said happiest memory together. My happiest memory of us, honestly, when we were playing chess in Paris, we decided not to go to the Moulin Rouge, but we were like, okay, what are we gonna do now? And we found this little cafe bar place, and they had chess boards, so we started playing chess. And it sounds really lame, but I was sat playing chess with you, and I was just like, I could do this forever.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's probably like my happiest.
There's so many to choose from, right? Like, we have fun and happy times all the time. But I was just thinking the other night about when we were in that pub in London, my first trip here, and we were singing to each other, being so obnoxious. For some reason, that week in March, like, London was the most romantic city in the world.
It was so magical.
Like, it wasn't just us, though. Like, every bar we went into, like, after we saw Moulin Rouge, we went into a bar, there was this couple clasping each other across the table. There was a couple that was just all over each other, and in that pub where we were just hanging out having a drink and like singing to each other in front of everyone, like it was some High School Musical shit. But also remember that my second day there, when we went to that Starbucks in the morning, it was our second day together, and it felt like we'd known each other forever. Like, we just cuddled up in the Starbucks booth, and like there was so much to see, there was so much to do. It was my first time in England, but all I wanted to do was just like enjoy a coffee and just snuggle up.
So cute.
It was a really happy time.
I feel like I'm gonna cry.
Alright, well, let's not get carried
Guys, I am the emotional one in the relationship. I cry at everything, but that was really cute. Who would take whose name if you got married? This is gonna be a plot twist for you, because I feel like in Q&As a while ago, I used to say, yeah, I'm not interested in getting married. I would never take anyone's name. I was such a little brat about it, but since meeting you, like, I would love to take her surname.
You're welcome to take my last name if you really want to, but I don't require it of you.
Yeah.
And I actually feel like Gabriella Lindley is such a cursive name.
But
you know
I find
what I mean?
it hard to say. There's too many L's. Like, when I say my name out loud, I'm like, Gabriella Lindley.
If and when we get married, you are welcome to take my last name. I'm not going to say no, but like, I like your name, and I don't need that to feel like connected to. I don't need that. I will always keep my last name.
Yeah, I don't want you to take my last name. I don't know why. But I feel like I would consider taking yours. Were you scared to share your relationship online? This is a good question. And I'm glad someone asked this, because honestly, yes, I was scared to share my relationship online. You know full well by now that I have trolls and people who just like hate me for no reason. Hi.
Shout out. We know you guys
Shout
are
out to you. So it is scary to feature anyone that I really care about. I mean, anyone in general on my channel, which is why I don't usually. I'm glad it doesn't faze you.
I don't think I was scared, because I'm used to dealing with weirdos online. That's sort of a part of my job as it is already.
Yeah.
So like, I was a little apprehensive of like, what's this gonna be like?
Has it been as bad as I thought it would be?
No.
Because I was warning her. I was like, it might be terrible.
No, there's a few that like try and contact me sometimes, and a lot of the time it just leaves me laughing.
Honestly, some of our trolls are really funny.
Some of them have jokes, and then some of them are just so unhinged that you
Yeah.
can't help but sort of laugh at them.
I know.
Like that one who has a kid. We were at the lake. It was in
Yeah.
May. So we're having like a fabulous lake holiday, like just enjoying life so much. It's like it's a holiday weekend in America, so we were having a great time. We were with friends and family, like just living it up at the lake. And somebody spent an hour sending me anonymous messages to my Tumblr blog about Gabbie. So you know it's one person because they're just doing it over and over again. And in one of the things they said something about, well, I would never let my daughter or my child, or when my child was born, I think they said. And I was just like, all I could think, will you show them the Sims meme?
I'll show them the meme.
All I could think when I got that message from this person who was spending like an hour of their Saturday just sending me anonymous messages about Gabbie was like, they're just letting their little Sims baby burn while they're just like obsessed and addicted to the computer. And so anytime a troll talks to me, I just think of that meme and I can't help but laugh.
Yeah, it's funny, but when you say it like that, it's also really sad for that person.
No, it's just like, listen, we all have our, you know, our hyperfixations online.
Speak for yourself. Who made the first romantic move?
Gabbie. It depends on what you mean by move.
I mean like romantic move in person, but then I guess we kind of got together before we met in person, which I know some people will find strange, but when you know, you know. And we were spending like 12 hours a day on FaceTime. We'd both be working and just have FaceTime on just so we could spend time with each other, and that had been like months.
The person who made the first move, like the first kiss, was me.
How did it go?
I kissed you on an elevator.
Yeah. It was actually cute though. Will you live between the UK and America or settle in one country together ultimately? First of all, I do want to say that we have been together for 8 months, and like, while obviously we are thinking about that stuff, I don't know what my end point to that was. Oh, I think it's intense for people to ask.
Yeah, but we asked for juicy questions.
Yeah,
don't worry. That was a good question.
Don't ask me anything else.
Great question.
No, what I was going to say is, it is like too soon to be thinking about where we're going to ultimately settle in our lives. Do you know what I mean?
Why are you lying to them? We've talked about this a lot. We're not for sure. Right now, we're happy sort of just going back and forth between. It's very easy to go between the two countries, and both of us are really enjoying like exploring the other's home country. So right now, we're kind of just going back and forth, and we're happy with that. I feel like if we did permanently settle somewhere, I would be happy for it to be in the UK.
See, it's so funny you say that, because like I would be happy for it to be in the US. You live in Nashville, and I really, really loved Nashville when I went. I get these really strong vibes about certain places when I go there. I got one about Brighton. I came to Brighton one time and then I moved here. I got it about London. I have it about New York, and I also have it about Nashville. Like when I went to visit Nashville, I just thought, yeah, I could live here. So I think the same thing, but there are more things that scare me in the US.
It's less safe. That's just the truth. As Gabbie was sort of trying to say, it's fine because we've only been together for 8 months. We don't know what our final location, home base will be.
Do you plan to take Cam over to Sheffield? We are actually going next week because I've got a scan, so I need to be in Sheffield anyway. So I thought, why not take Cam to see my family again? She's actually met Jane. Do you like her?
Yeah, I love Jane.
She's so cute.
We're gonna make bread.
Yeah. Was this you and Cam's first female partners? If so, were you nervous to be intimate?
Not even close.
No, it wasn't my first female partner either. But yeah, I was kind of nervous to be intimate for the first time.
I wasn't.
You really weren't?
No. That's one thing I'm not worried about.
Oh.
I wanted to make sure you liked me in person.
Yeah.
You liked my look. Like, I was more nervous about sort of that, but once that was a hit, I was like, okay, everything else.
But that's so funny to me because I've been like staring at you through FaceTime for...
I know, but it, you know, people can come off different on camera.
Both answer. One thing you're in awe of your partner for, and one thing that irks you. You just put a fizzy drink on a spinny chair and then got mad at me for accidentally knocking it over when I
got
spun
mad
the
at
chair. No, you didn't get mad at me.
I didn't get mad.
But you had a stern comment. Where she stores her sodas.
That's not real. Do a real one. I have a bunch for you. No, I'm just kidding. I got a whole list.
Get the list out.
Gabbie has this thing where she kind of like, if she has a feeling, or if one thing happens, or if she feels a bit sick, or if she feels bad about something, or she feels like something's hard, or like if a negative sort of force comes into your life in any way, you stub your toe, anything, you're like, oh, my life's permanently like this. If you're not feeling well, you're like, well, I guess I'll never feel well again. If you don't feel in the mood to do work, you're like, well, I guess I'll never be in the mood to do work again. I'm a bit more of a positive person, so like, I gotta be like, oh no, it's gonna be okay. And then guess what?
It's fine.
It's always
but in my opinion, I never think it's gonna last forever.
You act like But can I say what I'm in awe of?
No, can I say what irks me?
Yeah, now that we're saying real one, she'll do one. Now that I've like Roasted her.
You're getting a lot better at this, but you have tidy blindness. You will not notice a pile of stuff and you won't think to move it.
It's my ADHD.
Yeah, but it is okay because you are actually getting better at that because you know that it kind of is hard for me. Compromise.
Yeah, we work on it.
What is one thing that you're in awe of?
Too many to count.
Liar.
If I had to like pick one thing that's not just like, oh, you're so gorgeous, like the obvious stuff. Should I just do that?
I'll take it.
Is how hard you work.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really in awe of like how successful you are, just how together you are with work and, you know, your vision for your brand.
Aww.
You get so much done and you have, you know, you do a lot, and to me that's really impressive.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I didn't think you would say that at all. That's like made my day. The thing that I'm in awe of about Cam is how quickly she can not escalate things. Something I find difficult is my emotions. I find them really difficult. If I feel something, I feel it so hard, but you're good at feeling that thing and then being like, it's okay, let's like find a way to move past it. Let's sort this, let's da da da. And I am in awe of that because it is something that I really struggle with.
Thank you.
I think it's impressive.
I think so too.
You're fantastic. Who is the worst YouTuber or celebrity you have ever met? Have you met any celebrities?
Barely.
You've met Diana Agron.
She was very nice. Met Nathan Fillion. He was nice. He's an actor. Worst YouTuber. Nightmare.
I am not even.
No, she's great.
I actually don't have a worst celebrity, but I have many bad influencers that I've met.
Pick one, and if you have to, talk about them in code, but we'll all know.
There's actually so many. It's so weird with influencers. Like every celebrity I've met so far has genuinely been nice and quite down to earth. But I think like with online fame, it happens so quickly that some people do just get an insane like big head about it.
Yeah.
And start being a proper diva.
Can I prompt you one? You told me a story about one person.
Okay, well there's two that I'm specifically thinking of, but sure.
Who was the person who said you eat a lot when you edit at night, so you should stop editing at night?
No, she said, I've heard that editing at night makes you fat, so you should like really think about that.
Yeah, who was that? Can you say? He's not gonna say. I think it's someone quite famous. It's a British person.
It's someone from a gleaming management, and it's not the lovely Zoe. So cast your guesses below, and it is a woman.
If you get it in the comments, maybe we'll say.
I have so many stories of YouTubers, but I've always felt so nervous to talk about them. But it is like something that I do kind of want to touch on, and we've got a really great place that we can touch on things like that.
That's true.
One thing that we actually haven't spoken about yet is not only are we launching a podcast, we are also launching a Patreon where you can get extra content every month. Tell them what kinds of things they can look for.
We're gonna have extra vlogs of us doing fun stuff. We're gonna have tons of extra podcast episodes. We're gonna be spilling some tea.
Yes.
So maybe that question we were just talking about, maybe that actually needs to go on the Patreon.
Well, I've been talking to a few of my YouTube friends about being on the podcast, and that is where we will put content with them, more juicy content anyway.
What's it like in the bedroom with top/bottom?
How do you keep the spark alive?
That's something Gabbie likes to do.
Every time I had sex, I need to be drunk with the lights off. What are your guys' types?
Oh gosh.
Next question. Your previous ex never wanted to go in.
What about a house together?
And then the first time you met my parents.
So I'm blushing. You see how red I'm getting?
I have had sex with men. It's boring.
Favorite position?
We want you guys to feel like you're part of a club. So our Patreon is actually called the Secret Society. And it's just going to be such a fun place to hang. Like Cam said, loads of extra content, at least one video a month that won't be put on YouTube, so that is exclusive, and so many podcast episodes.
And we're also going to be doing like a happy hour social, like hang out with us at least once a month, like a Zoom call.
Yeah.
We have a couple drinks and just chat with you guys, maybe give some live advice.
We are so excited to launch this and to hang out more with you guys, and at the end of the day, just give you extra content, which is what everybody seems to be wanting right now. So I will leave a link to the Patreon below if you would like to support us on there, but let's get back to another question. When are you moving in together?
Kind of already have.
I feel like we already have, like we're always together now.
At least at Gabbie's house, like I moved in here, I have a wardrobe, you know, I have my stuff. I brought like some kitchen tools from America that I use a lot. When we go back to Nashville, we're gonna kind of do the same thing to my house. I had some tenants in it because I was traveling so much, but they're moving out and we're gonna be spending some time there for a while.
Yeah, which means we get to make a little base in Nashville as well, which is going to be lovely. So yeah, first gay celeb crushes. I can tell you mine was Angelina Jolie.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
And Julia Roberts. And Cameron Diaz.
Gillian Anderson.
Interesting choices. We've got very different choices. Why yours?
I thought Julia Louis-Dreyfus, my mom really liked Seinfeld when I was little, so that would be on, all the reruns would be playing, and I just thought Elaine on Seinfeld was so funny. And I was just like, Elaine's so funny. This is when I was like, probably like 9 or 10. Like, I didn't even know it was a crush. But I just remember being like, that is the most beautiful creature I've ever seen. And she's so funny. She's so much better than the boys on that show.
I think the one connector I've got between my people, Angelina Jolie, Julia Roberts and Cameron Diaz, is they've all got a really big smile. I think I'm just like weirdly attracted to really big smiles.
Mine are both MILFs. Why are you doing that? You're not a MILF.
This one actually comes from one of my friends.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Catherine. We know you're watching. She said, babes, are you two ever gonna threesome with Cara or Shannon? The vibes are there. If you guys didn't know, Cara and Shannon are our friends and fellow podcasters. Cara is like a co-host on your other podcast. And Shannon, Fluently Forward, has one of my favourite podcasts ever. I absolutely love her. I mean, the people are speaking, the vibes are there.
So, we're monogamous.
Really?
I don't know if Gabby knows that. Right now, we're not in any talks to have a threesome with either of them. But we're blessed to have super hot friends. That is true.
Yeah.
Can I share? I don't think Gabby's cut out for a threesome.
Why?
You're just very possessive.
What do you mean?
I don't think you'd be interested in sharing me with somebody else.
No, I wouldn't. I would hate it.
Yeah, so
I would be in the corner giving evils.
Have you ever done that before? Let's save that on Patreon.
Another question that we were going to save for the Patreon, but I feel like we should answer it here. Remember the first time getting frisky?
I mean, the thing is, they didn't ask a question. I guess they asked if we remember it. Yes, I do remember it.
I vaguely remember it.
We'd had some drinks.
But not in a negative way, in a very positive way. We were just having a great time. Went out for dinner, went out to the hotel bar. The rest is history. Anyways, that is the end of the questions for this Q&A, but we are actually going to continue this Q&A with more of the juicier questions that I feel uncomfortable answering.
Yeah, you perverts out there, head over to the Patreon because we're going to have a podcast episode Q&A. We had to do it as a podcast because I don't want to look at the camera while we answer some of these questions.
Yeah. So if you want that content, head over to the Patreon. But thank you so much for watching this video. What are you doing?
You always do this. If you want more of us and more of this super fun content, make sure to search Stay at Home Girlfriends wherever you get your podcast. We're launched now. We're everywhere.
Yep.
Go give us a listen.
Thanks for coming on my channel.
Should I stop doing
Literally,
that?
what are you doing?
I don't know.
We are gonna go and record said Q&A.
See you guys over there.
Bye.